I don't know why people think French food is so rule-ridden. It's a country full of free spirits, so why wouldn't the food be just as open-minded? I'm making a hazelnut roulade, a roly-poly cake filled with cream, poulet au paprika, which is a chicken sauté with cream and paprika, a salad of tattered shreds of root vegetables, all different colors, and a simple cheater's rice pilaf, savory and buttery. This is French food for free spirits. Uh-oh, raining! Ah.
Will I see you again? Making the time again, seeing the signs again. Come over, and we'll meet again. Da da da, da 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 da.
The only way to enjoy cooking is not to take it or yourself too seriously. I'm making a roly-poly cake because it sounded fun. It's got ground hazelnuts in it. You need 50 grams of ground nuts, and since I don't know what these weigh, I'm guessing half a cup. Plus I need 2 tablespoons of flour. And it's good to grind the nuts with the flour because it helps absorb some of that oil and keep it nice and powdery. Ooh. Snappy. Now, a few eggs. I'm just putting an inch of water in the pot. I'm just bringing this to a simmer because the eggs go over top and the heat helps make them get more volume faster. Third of a cup of sugar. Just getting that beaten, and then it will sort of start to cook and rise. I'd even say that's 4 times as much as what I started with. It's all white and thick as meringue. Then these nuts just go over top. And then to keep the volume, just fold in the flour and nuts. Now, got parchment. You need to butter it because it has to come out easily. And spread it out evenly and bake it 10 minutes only, really speedy. Now, you have to be ready for it when it comes out because there's some fancy footwork. So what you need is a slightly damp tea towel. The water helps keep it sticking to the towel so it comes off easily. Then I put it on just on another baking sheet because that's more solid. Put it on a cutting board or something. Then I can turn it right out on that and roll it right up. Run a knife around it. Comes right off. And then quickly roll it while it's still hot. And let it cool before you fill it. So fill it with cream because it has no fat in it. Just a little vanilla. Now you see, by letting it cool rolled, that's where it wants to go. Trained. So put the cream on top and spread spread it around, and then roll it up with the cream inside. Now, I'm going to dress it up. Icing sugar. Now, this is cheating, because it's a rule that you're not supposed to garnish with anything that's not in a cake, or you make people think it's in there. Put cocoa on top, they'll think somewhere hidden in the background is chocolate. It's a big lie. Look. And nutty. Great texture and so easy. Next I'm making poulet au paprika, a traditional chicken sauté with flamboyant hot paprika. I'm hardly rebellious in the kitchen, but more and more I want to be free of classic rules. Not that I have to go crazy. I think the French are mistaken for being too conservative with their cooking, but actually, they're always looking around for new flavors. I'm making a poulet au paprika, or paprika chicken. It's basically a classic chicken sauté, but it's got Hungarian touches of sour cream and paprika. But I'm going to use crème fraîche. And I'm using duck fat, and it makes any sauté taste, well, with chicken anyway, it tastes more complex. I've got a big pan so I can fit all the pieces in. But if you have a smaller one, work in batches because you don't want to crowd the pan or they just steam. And you want the skin nice and crisp. Now, an onion. You can just slice the onion, you don't need to dice it. Clove of garlic. And the other thing I want is some red pepper. And I have a little piece of fennel. So once they're brown, take out the chicken. And then onions. Everything can go in at once, except the garlic, just hold that back. The peppers too. The fennel smells so good in here. Now paprika. I've read that you're only supposed to use sweet paprika in Hungarian paprika chicken, but I love a bit of heat. And that's a tablespoon of hot. You know, I'm just turning that down a bit. Oh, my garlic. And just to deglaze, add a splash of wine. Say half a cup. And now the chicken goes back in. This nice crisp skin, golden against the fiery red. I'm going to add some tomatoes too. It's not going to be a tomato sauce. You just want a little bit of taste in there. Just didn't want to lose all my liquid. Tomatoes on top, just a rough chop, it doesn't really matter. And a bay leaf. Right in the sauce. And then it needs 30 minutes, and the chicken will be cooked, and the sauce reduced, and I can add cream. That will be very tasty because I got a very good, organic, free-range, happy chicken. I'm this close to getting chickens myself, actually. I wouldn't want this many, but fresh eggs are so great.
Yeah, they are.
I just believe instinctively in free-range everything. But why free-range? Can you give me a really good argument? You have a feather, right?
Do I? Feather in my hat.
A feather in your cap.
Our food today is, a lot of it's so sanitized, especially
know.
around animal production, factory kind of situation where
Yeah.
they're in barns on concrete, or with chickens, they live in cages most of their lives.
Yeah.
If you get closer
Here
to
they
the
come.
earth, and they're taking from the earth, I think it's good for our health. It takes us back
because
to
they're
a
eating.
closer-
What do these guys eat?
They're omnivores, so they like both meat material and plant material.
Like steaks?
Well, bug steaks. Any beetles or earwigs or anything like that
yeah?
around, they're really good at cleaning those up.
That's true.
And it also enhances the taste of the egg. You could bring one from inside, one from outside. You crack them, one's yellow, one's orange.
Oh, I want to do that and
You
look
want-
at it.
wanna try that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I really love
Yeah.
to crack one.
Do you want to crack one?
Just beside one of the barn ones, just to see.
Okay.
This is the barn egg, right? It's still
right.
a good farm egg.
Oh, yes.
Nothing wrong with
Very
it.
fresh.
And you've got the outdoor egg.
I've got the outdoor egg. Look
Wow.
at this. Look at this.
Wow, isn't that amazing?
Look at the.
I'm gonna set them right one beside the other. Even the white is yellow, isn't it?
Yes. This is what sunshine does.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. So why would you ever buy eggs in a grocery store when you can get them free range like this, high and yellow and bright and delicious? Take the chicken out, turn the heat right up so it boils its head off for about 5 minutes. Just want it reduced a little bit. Then, creme fraiche. And stir it through. It just thickens the sauce and makes it a little creamier. And then just spill all the chicken back in. That you can take right to the table. And serve it with a big pile of green beans. Not even waiting for a side dish. Oh, it's absolutely luxurious. And the fennel's good in there. And the heat is good in there too. Next, I'm making a salad, but not just any salad. It's all the rage these days.
Laughing at everything.
When I did culinary training in France, I was so hung up on rules and getting everything right. It can get so stressful, especially at cooking school. Everyone's so mean about how you do things. That's why cooking at home is so fun, because you can do what you like. I'm making a mixed vegetable salad, shaved. And what's great is that you get thin shavings, and every bite is different. So I have a little kohlrabi, some snow peas. Any mix of things you like is good, as long as they're good raw. Radishes, fennel, asparagus, zucchini, and beets. Beets are the best. They're the most beautiful when they're thinly sliced. So you want your mandolin on the thinnest possible setting, and you want to watch it because this thing is like a dangerous weapon. You want them as thin as potato chips. What a nice first course this is too, especially if you have something heavier coming later. It's guilt-free and so good. It's the colors that make it so beautiful. And vegetables have more color than anything. And then, for some really different shapes, I hope this works because it depends on your peeler. Obviously, it doesn't work on the mandolin, but you really have to make it thick enough that it slices, but not so thick that you break it. It's soon coming up to my 10-year anniversary of running away. I had a job in an office. I had a boyfriend, an apartment. I had education behind me, everything. And I thought one day, I hate this. I left it all behind and went to cooking school. Now, snow peas, this is very interesting because once in the south of France, I was working in a starred restaurant and they served as a little amuse-bouche a crab salad with slivered snow peas. Well, maybe I was more impressionable at the time, but I thought that was so interesting because a snow pea has a certain texture, and then when you chop it super finely, it looks completely different. Observe. And different texture gives you a different feel in the mouth, and therefore, I argue, a different taste. Here's my favorite beet. Not just any beet either. This is not just any beet. This one is striped. Like a rose. And it needs some red beet too. Couldn't find any yellow ones, but yellow is also nice. It's good to give it a bit of handle because these will turn your hands pink. But remember, if you have red, to add them last because they'll color all the others. Now, to dress this, you want it really nice and simple. No, I think some herbs, a bit of dill, and lemon zest. And all it needs is olive oil and a squeeze of lemon. And then salt. Now get a nice crunchy salt, fleur de sel. I'm not going to add the beet until I put it on a plate because otherwise it will make everything pink and just destroy the whole effect of this rainbow of vegetables. And then you need a beautiful plate to put it on. I could eat the whole thing. And why not, really? It's just vegetables. Next, I'm going to show you a very quirky thing the French do with rice. Did you know that the Earth is traveling through space at 100,000 kilometers an hour? And do you know how fast life is going while we ride around on the back of the planet? Way too fast to worry about silly little things. That's why details are not going to bother me while I make my rice. I'm making French rice, which is in a very lazy way. They think it's pasta. Just boil a pot of water as if you're making pasta. Onions, garlic. I don't know how much butter, but that's probably good. I'll just put some thyme in too. So when the water is boiling, salt it like you would for pasta. And then this is how the French cook rice. Shut your eyes. Instead of having the exact amount of water and then a proportionate amount of rice, they just spill it into a big boiling pot. And then when it's tender, you drain it. garlic. Don't let it get too soft. Just al dente, as they say. And then you just hop into the onions. And then you just have nice golden onions swirling through it. Little bits of thyme. It's very attractive, really. So it's not a pilaf. It's not anything really. It's just itself. Free-thinking rice. And that was what was great about today. I just made everything I felt like the way I wanted with what was around. I've made a roly-poly hazelnut cake filled with cream, a traditional chicken sauté with flamboyant hot paprika, a wildly colorful salad of shaved vegetables, and rice with strands of caramelized onion and thyme. Now I just have to go eat it and think freely.